Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Humanist Report here with breaking news. It is not, I repeat, it is not the case that you can be enthusiastic about a candidate that for the first time ever has proven that he is not beholden to corporate interests. No. See, if you do that, you are either a sexist or a fanatical, conspiratorial asshole. That's right, so you better tone down your enthusiasm, otherwise you might be labeled as a sexist, because Hillary Clinton supporters are the only ones who are allowed to be enthusiastic about their candidate. Actually, that sounds like some bullshit to me.
Have you heard about this phenomenon, Bernie bros, people who support you and sometimes attack in very crude and sexist ways?
I have heard about it.
Clinton
It's
supporters?
disgusting. Look, we don't want that crap. We can't, and we will do everything we can, and I think we have tried.
See, what's funny to me is that Bernie Sanders supporters are painted as these crazy conspiratorial kooks when we point out actual cases of bias. See, it was us that first said the media was biased against Bernie Sanders, and then lo and behold, a study was released showing that there's been a media blackout on Bernie Sanders. Not even a minute of coverage was dedicated to him, yet 81 minutes was dedicated to Donald Trump. Man, what crazy conspiratorial, tinfoil wearing idiots these Bernie Sanders supporters are, right? And look at these Bernie bros going on the internet harassing female Hillary Clinton supporters. Man, what sexist assholes, right? It's not the case that, the male Hillary Clinton supporters are doing this to the female Bernie Sanders supporters. Nope, not at all.
Well, no, wait.
Let's pretend that, it's just Bernie Sanders supporters who are doing all these attacks, right? Well, here's the deal. There's just one little thing about the Bernie bro myth that's problematic. It's bullshit. Now, of course, it's the case that fanatical, sexist Bernie Sanders supporters exist, but it's also the case that fanatical, conspiratorial, sexist Hillary Clinton supporters exist. Now, here's why it's the case that Bernie Sanders supporters, the majority of them, are not crazy sexist kooks. It's because this is an electoral tactic waged against Obama in 2008. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but there was the Obama boys. And apparently there were these sexist men going around harassing women. So in an article by Salon titled, "Hey Obama Boys, Back Off Already," with the subtitle, "Young women are growing increasingly frustrated with the fanatical support of Barack and gleeful of bashing Hillary." So you'll see a lot of the same charges made against Obama supporters here that are being made against Bernie Sanders. Now let's not forget about the fact that the Bernie bro myth didn't actually come to fruition until Bernie started to do better against Hillary Clinton, when he started to close the gap in Iowa and New Hampshire, and when he started to pass her in New Hampshire. All of a sudden, this myth, is permeating throughout political culture in the U.S. So let's get to this article. So in 2008, Salon writes, "A lot of guys just can't stand Hillary, and it's the intensity of their irritation with her that disturbs me more than their devotion to Obama. Some female voters have begun to express nearly as much disenchantment with the Obama mania of their peers as with their Clinton-promoting mothers. And even while they voice dismay over the retro tone of the pro-Clinton feminist whine, a growing number of young women are struggling to describe a gut conviction that there is something dark and funky, and probably not so female-friendly, running below the frantic fanaticism of their Obama-loving compatriots." So here you have the same themes. You've got the enthusiasm for Bernie Sanders and the dislike for Hillary Clinton, not fueled by the fact that, she supports fracking, or that she voted for the Iraq War, that she stopped supporting universal health care once she took money from the health insurance industry, because, we're sexist. That's why we dislike Hillary Clinton. It's not due to substance. Come on. This is ridiculous. Hillary Clinton and her supporters are better than this. Now look, let's be 100% fair. I'm not denying that there are some really unfair critiques launched against Hillary Clinton. Morning Joe did a segment where they critiqued her for her speaking style. They said that she yells too much. I disagree with that. All candidates yell too much, but the only one who really gets criticized for that is Hillary Clinton. Bernie does too, because he really does yell. But this is an attack that's typically launched against women. So there are these types of criticisms that are fueled by sexism that are unfairly launched against Hillary Clinton, and I condemn them, and I encourage people to condemn them. But here's the deal. When Bernie Sanders supporters talk about disliking Hillary Clinton, we don't dislike her as a person, we dislike her as a candidate. All of our critiques are substantive. If you go through my list of videos, I don't launch ad hominem attacks on Hillary Clinton. It's all based on policy. And I always respond to her attacks on Bernie Sanders that are disingenuous. So to say that all Bernie Sanders supporters, to overgeneralize and say that we're conspiratorial, we're kooky, we're fanatical assholes, we're Bernie bros, we're sexist, it's completely unfair, and it's a misrepresentation of Bernie Sanders supporters, and it's a tactic. See, but here's why they do this. It's a really effective campaign strategy. So if you try to lump in Bernie Sanders supporters with craziness and kooks, they're akin to Ron Paul supporters in 2012, well, then you can dissuade potential voters of Bernie Sanders to not jump on board because they don't want to be lumped in with the sexist. I mean, why would you want to jump on a campaign that's filled with sexism, right? There's all this vitriol among Bernie Sanders supporters. I've seen the comments online. I really like Bernie Sanders, but his supporters are just not doing him any justice. Well, God forbid that our enthusiasm for a candidate is misconstrued as sexism, so that way a campaign can be advanced by this and try to dissuade people from supporting her opponent, right? I'm not saying that Hillary Clinton is the one that's unilaterally purporting this myth. It's the media as well. What is it, 70-80% of young female voters support Bernie Sanders? Are they all sexist too? Well, in fact, that's the claim that's being made by Gloria Steinem, a world-renowned feminist, by Madeleine Albright. Apparently, women are, they're just boy crazy. That's a claim against them. So basically, here's the deal. If you support Bernie Sanders, there's something wrong with you. This is the myth that they're trying to perpetuate. You're not just, a normal person. You're an idiot. You're either sexist, you're conspiratorial, you don't know the facts. Bill Clinton said, when you're trying to run a political revolution, you don't know the facts. Oh, we know the facts. That's why we're supporting Bernie Sanders and not Hillary Clinton. See, we don't like Hillary Clinton because she's a bad candidate. We rejected her in 2008, and we are rejecting her in 2016 because we disagree with her on policy. I don't vote for people who support the Iraq War and voted for it. I don't vote for people who support fracking. I don't vote for people who don't support universal health care and then actually attack universal health care. No. You don't get my support that way. You get my support by earning my vote and convincing me that you care for me and not your rich friends. See, Hillary Clinton and her husband are oligarchs. They have hundreds of millions of dollars, a sum of wealth that most peasants like myself will never know what that tastes like. So I'm sorry that I want to go with the guy who's actually going to be supporting my interests as opposed to your Wall Street buddies' interests. I'm sorry that, if people think that that's sexist. It's not. See, I know what I am. I know what Bernie Sanders supporters are. They're good people. And this is just a pathetic tactic to try to dissuade other people from jumping on board. So you kind of paint the supporters, the people who have been fed scraps, the people who are struggling to get by, who want healthcare, who want education for their children. Paint them as the bad guys. That's what you do. Well, that is a tactic that someone without integrity would use, and it's disgusting.
Thanks for watching the Humanist Report. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out at humanistreport.com.